Can you explain the gap on your resume? Can you explain the gap on your staff? One of my employees resigned back in the 90s. Bright guy. I hated to see him go. He wanted to go start some kind of computer company. I said to him, "Hey kid, good luck out there." He winked and tipped his hat. He was wearing a hat. That man's name was Bill Gates. Bill Gates started Microsoft in the 70s, so this can't be real. No, different Bill Gates. The one I'm talking about didn't do that well in the end. Google would never lay off, like aged milk. Happy to announce that I was not impacted by the recent Meta layoffs because I work at Google, a company that would never do this in a million years. Forget everything you learned in college, you won't need it here. But I didn't go to college. Well then, you're unqualified for this job. Confused unga bunga. I'm traveling for work and instead of eating a fancy dinner out, I've decided to cook a cheaper meal in the hotel room. Even though the hotel room didn't have a kitchen, I managed to use the coffee machine to cook chicken with butter and garlic. Although my company allows me to expense a dinner while traveling, I wanted to save money because I know that every dollar counts on the P&L. It's the little things that get you promoted. Cooking meat in a coffee machine? I was on a hiring team to hire a mid-level data analyst at a healthcare company. We had a candidate who had no experience and no domain knowledge, but he had a good attitude and good personality. And guess what? We didn't hire him. We honestly just had better candidates who already knew the skills we were looking for and had domain knowledge. Hope he's out there doing well. He was a good guy. Nobody. LinkedIn influencers. Yesterday I was walking to an interview. There was a starving dog on the road. I stopped to feed him and missed the interview. The next day I got a call asking to come in to do the interview. I was surprised, but I went. Then the interviewer came in. He was the dog. "I sold my first forklift." I mean, that's pretty awesome, man. You look pumped. Congrats. Gotta find a way to stand out. Accomplishments, test scores, blood pressure, 124 out of 82. God damn. When recruiters offer me $11 an hour for skilled desktop support, I send them this. 3 weeks paid time off. That sounds nice. This didn't happen. He's just looking for his employees to tell him he looks like Adam Levine. A candidate roasted me during an interview. She said, "You look like a much less talented version of Adam Levine." I thought, why would you insult your future employer? She worked at Google, presented well on the phone, and aced our engineering test. I thought the in-person interview would be a formality by then, until she came in, and hurled insults faster than a machine gun. I'll never know why she did that, but I do know my values. If she mistreated me as the CEO and co-founder, she would do the same to our employees. I don't care how intelligent you are. I don't care if you've worked for all Fortune 10 companies. I don't care if the ROI on hiring you would be $1 billion. If you mistreat me or my employees, there's no space for you in my company. I just peed myself in public. No, not because I had to go and there wasn't a bathroom close. There was one within range. Sometimes you just have to put yourself in tough situations to overcome adversity. That is one of the stupidest posts I've ever seen. Put the salary in the job description. No one should have to take time off work to find out the job they are interviewing for pays significantly less than the one they already have. A recruiter just contacted me about a role. That role reports to me where I currently work. Yeesh. In an interview, ask the company if they're actively considering any internal candidates for the role. If they are, ask what advantages external candidates might offer to the position. If they struggle to answer, it's a good indicator that they're wasting your time. Never in my wildest dreams did I think I could have all these by age 33. My home paid off, a 6-figure passive income, vacation home by the beach, a chef or home-cooked meals, paid off Tesla. And yep, I was right, I don't have any of those. Okay, bye, back to work. I love applying for jobs. So many great options. Would I like to be paid poorly or would I like to work for someone evil? Oh cool, this one is both. Rare bird ruined by my interview. I was on a second Zoom interview for a company when a really rare bird landed on my windowsill. I did a double take and had to stop to point it out. I love birds. Interviewers did not seem impressed. I don't even care though. It's never been seen before in my area. I can't work for people who don't appreciate a good rare bird sighting. Counterpoint, if a team runs itself for 6 months, forget about hiring a manager and just give everyone a raise. Reminder, if a team runs itself for 6 months while you hire a manager, you shouldn't be hiring, you should be promoting. Here's one of the most successful entrepreneurs I know. Just made it to Forbes 30 under 30. Here's how he made his first $15 million. Get up at 4:30 a.m. every day, 60 minutes of cardio, take a cold shower, have breakfast rich in protein and healthy fats, schedule out your day, dad owns Fortune 500 company, meditate. A candidate showed up for his interview 30 minutes late. I gave him a job anyway. He's our worst employee. He's always late. Explain the gap in your resume is so infuriating, because maybe I was just vibing, maybe something catastrophic happened. Why do you have to share intimate personal details to justify non-productive / non-laboring periods of your literal human existence? OMG! My 4-year-old froze on stage at her first ballet recital. I failed, she told me after the show. I looked at her heartbroken with tears in my eyes. No, I failed you, but today you've given me more than I could have ever asked for. You gave me a sad kid story to post on LinkedIn. Link what? She asked. LinkedIn, I reply. A place where depressing personal anecdotes involving imaginary children are posted and mined for engagements in order to boost one's professional identity. She looked at me confused. But Dad, I cut her off. Shh. Imagine getting sacked. Then the next day, when you finally regained your composure, you come onto LinkedIn to look for another job, only to see that the very boss who sacked you yesterday has just posted a selfie of himself crying. Is this peak? This is peak, innit? Hi all, I'm elated to announce the announcement of my elation. I briefly worked as a recruiter in Dallas. I was stunned by how much illegal stuff goes on. They had me checking social media to see if candidates were attractive and white enough to go to jobs. There was a minority drawer where applications were disappeared. I quit. I got rejected by Apple. I got rejected by Facebook. I got rejected by Google. I was jobless. I could have given up all hope, but I took it as a sign to take the leap of faith. So I started my own enterprise. Then I got rejected by the end consumer. Now I'm jobless and broke. Moral of the story, keep yourself hydrated. That doesn't make any sense. Neither do all the inspiring stories on LinkedIn. This is a new level of hell. Personal budget. Each candidate at Dave's company sends in their personal budget during the interview process to ensure they can support their family on what they're paying for that position. You don't want to hurt someone's family by allowing them to take a position they can't afford. Besides, broke and desperate people do not make good team members. Spousal interview. One of the last steps you should take before a hire is an interview with the candidate and his or her spouse. The spouse will tell you pretty quickly whether the position will really work for the family. How? If the salary is so competitive, why won't you tell me what it is? That's a good question. My friend sent this to me. Caption, wow, this company just invented the lunch break. This morning we launched the Just Eat Power Hour. Our colleagues told us while in lockdown they were on back-to-back calls and found it difficult to take a break away from their screen. That's not how we roll, so we've introduced the Power Hour. It's designed for just eaters to have guilt-free time away from meetings, have lunch with the family, go for a walk, social distance, exercise, just breathe. It's their time. Another way we continue to brilliantly enhance the lives of just eaters everywhere. You made the lunch break. Just call it a lunch break. You don't have lunch breaks? Unprofessional, maybe? I have a series of questions that I'm going to ask you. Please answer them in detail and to the best of your ability. Who is this? Owner of the company you applied for on Indeed. I was at Costco yesterday and saw these two items for sale. A snow shovel costs $20 and an electronic snowblower costs $799. The lesson I see here is laziness is 40 times more expensive than effort. What I see here is the material needed to make a f***ing shovel is not exactly the same as a high-powered electronic snowblower. That's what I'm not a LinkedIn influencer. I don't make a lot of money, you know what I'm saying? What do I know? I'm so grateful for my career. I'm not bragging, but just want to thank God. I went from homeless to living paycheck to paycheck to saving enough money to purchase an excellent internet data plan that allowed me to download this picture. You're not the first one to do this joke. It's bad. Companies when they hire normal employees. Companies when they hire managers. Exactly on time. Hi Blank, my apologies for the confusion just now as you arrived for your interview with Blank at 11 a.m. I understand you live close just up the road and are looking for a job with full-time hours. Unfortunately, we would not consider employing someone in a full-time capacity that arrives to an interview exactly on time. Maybe arriving a little earlier to future job interviews would show the employer that you are keen. Wishing you all the best with your job search. How high and mighty, for someone to be like, oh yeah, you arrived right on time, you were there for the interview, we really appreciate you coming in, but you didn't come in early before we told you to, so do you even care? Go f*** yourself. Get off your high horse and just hire the guy. Shake my head at all these spoiled people not willing to work for half their market worth for no reason, SMH. The other day I interviewed a potential manager to work with my company. He requested to be paid $40 an hour, to which I replied, the most I pay anyone initially is $20 until I can trust them. He then went on to tell me about his depth of experience and how he is not in the tryout phase of his life anymore. Then he hung up. When I was 24, I worked 20 to 40 hours a week as an intern with no pay. I learned more than any high-paying job could have taught me. Furthermore, my experience opened the door to so many incredible opportunities that I could not have gotten otherwise. Man, you worked 20, 40 hours a week with no pay? Why would you, brag about that. That sucks, man. You're trying to sound inspirational. I don't want to live that life. No thanks. I really like your resume. What are your salary expectations? I offer a variety of plans to meet your needs. Choose the plan that works best for you. Oh, that's looking good. Choose the plan and enhance it with optional add-ons. Sign up today and choose from several payment options. No. 76,000 followers, a paying customer for 7 years, original content about scams, manipulative marketing, and sales, and at LinkedIn have decided to permanently remove my account due to the content I make, while fake stories, engagement pods, pyramid schemes post freely. Madness. Looking for a caterpillar. Must have 5 years of experience as a butterfly and at least a master's degree. This will be an unpaid position. I am excited to announce I don't have an internship. Congrats. Sharing your enthusiasm on LinkedIn. I like to watch. Yeah, I admit it, and I'm sure many of you out there have seen your fair share. But why am I bringing this up? For 2 reasons. 1, because no topic is off limits, and 2, because it's important to be aware of indulgences in your life. There are some things that need to be done in moderation. For some, including myself, porn is one of them. Be very aware of the things that, if you do too much, cause more harm than good. Carry on. Wait, hold on. Be very aware of the things that, if you do too much, cause more harm than good. I have no idea what he was trying to say there. You might be watching too much. Don't forget, no friends, no family, and no kids. Means I can do deals around the clock. That sucks. The New York Times has an 8-round interview process. You would have an initial call with a recruiter, then the hiring manager, followed by a coding challenge. If all goes well at that point, there would be 5 rounds with the team via Zoom. Jesus Christ. I appreciate you reaching out, but that's excessive. I wouldn't be interested. Most companies now have a 3 or 4-step interview process that's a little more respectful of my time. I wish you the best of luck in your recruiting efforts, though. HR. We decided to go with another candidate who aligns with our needs at this time. Job is reposted on LinkedIn, so that was a lie. LinkedIn really files under the radar as the social media platform that's absolutely the most unhinged. When I received my job offer, I asked if I could get back to them because I had another job offer to consider, but it was just so I could get off the phone and squeal because I was so excited, and they called me back 5 minutes later and offered me $5,000 more and a better title to drop the other offer. Oh. Manager telling us we are family. Me who has applied to 30 other families this week. Does your boss know you joke about design industry on Twitter? Yeah, he does. If you'd like to contact him, however, please feel free. Hey, my name's Blank from the recruitment agency Blank Media. I was wondering if you knew about your employer Tommy Mason and his Twitter material. I am my own boss, you wet wipe. Tommy. Employer, we are urgently hiring. Employer, after I apply. Can we make a reality show where we make baby boomers try applying to jobs for the first time in 30 years using their own advice and see how quickly they have a mental breakdown? I asked my boss for a raise. He said, what for? I told him 3 different companies are after me. He asked which ones. I said gas, water, and electric. Employer, you're hired. Salary is $36K. Me, I was hoping for $50K. We have coffee on tap and a casual dress code. That's great, but football tables and treadmill desks. Please calm down. Dogs at work, happy hours, free snacks. Millennials love this. Bribe the hiring manager after a rejection? Someone I know had multiple interviews at her dream company, but she didn't get the job. So she did this. It's brilliant. She sent the hiring manager a $20 Starbucks gift card. With it, she included a note card that said, I just wanted to thank you very much for considering me for your social media coordinator opening. I'm still extremely interested in working for XYZ Inc., and when the next opening arises, the coffee is on me so we can discuss it. How many people who that hiring manager has ever interviewed did this? 0. Think she'll be remembered when another opening arises? You bet. Go the extra mile. Do things others don't. Stay continually top of mind. Be memorable. Recruiter. We offer a competitive salary. Employee. Great. How much is it? Don't worry about it. It's competitive. Anyways, what skills do you have? Oh, I have amazing skills. Great. Can you tell me more about them? Don't worry. They're amazing. This is the 2nd year I've been married, and the 2nd year my husband has taken a similar photo of me during our Valentine's Day dinner, taking a work call. While I understand the split between work and life, I've never been good at it, and my husband understands that. Helping other people never sleeps. The dystopian future where daycare and parental leave are replaced with babies at your workplace. If the office can be managed from home, then home can also be managed from workplace. Finally, a desk for working parents. Oh, that seems terrible. Reality. Unemployed. Versus LinkedIn, blockchain enthusiast, cryptocurrency evangelist, influencer, inspirer, chief visionary, serial entrepreneur, i.e. every business I started has failed, founder, omission, philanthropist, another omission, empowering something, life coach, father, trendsetter, top 1% of LinkedIn profiles, according to myself, speaker, TEDx, 2X attendee, ICO advisor. And it goes on. Meet the final boss of LinkedIn. Oh dear God. CPA, CIA, CMA, CFE, CFM, CFC, FMVA, CBCA, CFI partner, instructor of CPA, CMA, CIA, IFRS, CFE, FMVA, risk, AML, compliance, tax governance, and consultant. CFI Institute partner in region, representative IFC and CIMC Institute, MENA, CPA, CIA, CMA, CFM, CFA1, CFE, CFC, CIPA, CIB, QIA, CFS, GCMA, CERT, IFR, IASME, IPSAS, CERTBV, CRCMPS, FMVA. I'm not doing another take. We're moving on. Holy God. Just started calling employers and saying I was told to call back today to set up an interview. Pretty much what the title says. Was sick of not getting any word back from employers. Then the realization struck that they were going through hundreds of applications and are probably at the point where they don't know who's or who anymore. So new job application process is to apply for a job, wait a few days, call fewer employers letting them know I was under consideration for the position, and was scheduling an interview per their request. Results so far are 4 interviews this month compared to 1 interview over the last 3 months. Of the 20 or so times I've done this, I've only been called out on it once, and that one time I just hung up. Inspiring. This CEO saw one of his employees digging through the dumpster for food, so he bought her a headlamp to make it easier to sift through the garbage. PhD math student rejected for not having 3 hours of calc on their transcript. Lol, I had a job application denied because my PhD transcript didn't show that I had a bachelor's degree which included 3 hours of calculus. I am a PhD student in mathematics. Hello, Mr. Martin. My manager reviewed your application. Unfortunately, the determination still stands. In order to meet the basic education requirement, the agency must have the proper documentation to show you completed at least 3 semester hours of calculus from an accredited college as stated in the announcement. Got sent home on my first day because the company forgot to tell me another candidate was chosen last minute. Exactly as the title reads, I interviewed for a receptionist gig on last week and got the job. I was told I would be training with Linda and to come in today at 9 a.m. sharp. I got there 10 minutes early, and when I walked into the office, nobody knew who I was, and the manager who interviewed me was nowhere to be seen. The manager had gone with another candidate last minute, did not bother to phone or email me, and did not inform any of the workers. He was too lazy or cowardly to inform me, and instead let me be absolutely embarrassed instead. The woman who was chosen last minute was standing with Linda, who was supposed to be training me, and looked absolutely gobsmacked. Back to the grind. If you don't get hired for an unpaid internship, it literally makes no difference. Just show up and start working. What are they going to do? Pay you? We are short-staffed. Please be patient with the staff that did show up. No one wants to work anymore. No. People do want to work. They just want to work and, what is it? Get paid, right? Like money, so that they can, survive. Recruiter asked me to send in a report of my total earnings in 2020 and 2021 as part of the negotiation process. Hi blank, please send me your salary info as soon as possible. As mentioned, it's the legal right, hint it's not, of companies to show proof of salary in blank. In this case, blank has asked for your total earnings. We cannot negotiate a higher salary unless you provide this info. We need a benchmark for negotiations with her. Thanks. Hi blank, after some consideration, I still strongly believe it is not relevant to the negotiation. In fact, I feel that I was actually asked more personal information, including past salary discussions, than I've experienced in any past interviews. If this report is absolutely necessary, I'd like to not pursue this opportunity further. Thank you. Big shout out to all the companies requiring their employees to come back into the office full time, especially those that hired people remotely all over the country in 2020 and 2021, but are now asking them to relocate to HQ, and especially those that are only giving said employees 3 months or less to pick up their entire lives and move. Y'all are giving the rest of us some great candidates. 12-month ban from applying because of a 5-minute personality test. Thank you for the time you have recently dedicated to allow the selection process. This is to inform you about the status of your application for the position, Manufacturing Physical Distribution Process Center at PNG. Unfortunately, based on the results of the online assessment that you have completed, we will not be advancing your application to the next step. You will be able to retake the online assessment after 12 months, blah, 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 blah. That is so stupid. The length of a LinkedIn post is directly proportional to the amount of bull in it. Oh, Well, I guess there must not be much bullshit here. Stories on LinkedIn be like, yesterday we had a Zoom meeting and Sanjay was reluctant to turn on his cam. I insisted that he did, and we saw that he was presenting from a bed in the ICU where his mother lay dying. He apologized profusely for the inconvenience. I said, don't apologize for being human, Sanjay, and I didn't fire him. I just cut his salary. Show compassion to your employees. I got featured in Hong Kong Museum of Memes. I did not know they had that. But hey, that's awesome. Interviewed at Facebook about 10 years ago. Interviewer looked at my CV and said, we don't count internships as experience here, so let's just forget all of that. Me, those weren't internships. I went to college part-time and worked full-time to pay for it. Dead silence. The HR standoff. What are your salary expectations? What is your salary range for this role?